Today on City Wrestling Radio, has the build to AEW Revolution been a lackluster one? We're going to take a look at this week's AEW Dynamite. Ring of Honor Television gets their premiere date, and who should be heading into WrestleMania? We'll talk more about that as well. Cody, Sami, who's going to end up facing Roman Reigns and taking those straps off the Tribal Chief? All of that and more today on City Wrestling Radio.
Give me a hell yeah!
Hello there, and welcome back to another edition of City Wrestling Radio. I'm your host, Korey Smith, being joined, as always, it's a weekday, so you know who it is. It's the karaoke master of CWR, Mr. Michael Vergara. How are you today, sir?
Only on Wednesdays and Fridays, Korey. Only on Wednesdays and Fridays.
Well, I mean, you got to hold that title up for 7 days a week. I want this 24/7 title.
Oh, no.
The karaoke. Goodness, no.
I'm a hard fighting champion over that shit.
But how are you today, sir?
I'm all right. You know,
good.
Just did laundry. That was it.
Laundry. That's always nice. In between little
No.
after Dynamite.
I hate doing laundry. I'm not putting that over. I'm not putting laundry over.
Well, see, the thing about laundry. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, we're not here to talk about your clean socks, Michael. We're here. We're going to start talking about AEW Dynamite this week. Because honestly, we're about 2 weeks away from AEW Revolution, and it's a show that is a little significant for you and I and Jose, because we will be there in attendance. And I've always kind of felt every pay-per-view I've ever been to has kind of always been like really, I got this one, you know. And coming up on this one, it seems like I'm asking myself the same question, because some of the matches seem a little thrown together. Some of them, it seems like they're focusing too much on this Bryan Danielson, MJF thing, and not enough on the rest of the card. What do you think about the build to AEW Revolution, Michael?
Well, I think they kind of have to put all their eggs in the whole bill on the whole basket of Danielson versus MJF, because it's 1 hour. Like that's arguably a quarter of the pay-per-view. I don't entirely blame them to booking around a 60-minute match, considering, hey man, we're getting bang for our buck. We're getting Danielson for 60 minutes. I'm getting Danielson for 60 minutes, but it's kind of it is sort of kind of a juggling act. Like, do you really want to you run the risk of putting too much on this show, considering you have an hour-long match in as one of the matches in this card, and like we could probably go through the card as the closer we are to Revolution, but like they're adding a Texas death match to this thing. They're adding like they're always going to have a trios match. Yes. They're always going to have their tag match.
A Texas death match in San Francisco.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, a little.
Hey! San Francisco is kind of a melting pot.
I want to see like a Bay Area brawl match or something.
They'll probably call it something else. But yeah, you know, it's your hands are kind of tied at the moment, because most of your pay-per-view, that's gonna close the show. Like you're gonna have to. That whole entire thing is built on that match.
I guess we'll get more into it as we go throughout the show. But like I said, there's a lot of things. I'm just like, Adam Cole doesn't have a challenger. What's going on? Is like
not even on the pay per view. Like that's kind of
he is going to be at the pay per view. Like, hasn't he confirmed? Hasn't he said like Revolution? I'm going to have a match.
I must have missed it.
Okay. But the show started off with in memoriam graphic paying tribute to Jerry Jarrett, and our condolences to the Jarrett family. Yes.
Got Mid-South playing in the background.
Yeah. I mean, I would talk about it, but I don't really know.
But the same thing what we said when. Oh man.
Yes.
Never mind.
Exactly. I kicked the first match of the night was the AEW All Atlantic Champion Orange Cassidy with Danhausen, and the Acclaimed with Daddy Ass and Daddy Ass, because it was like a 8-man tag, defeating Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh, and Sanjay Dutt. Caster also paid tribute to Jerry Jarrett while still shitting on Jeff coming down to the ring in his open.
Called him a Nepo baby.
A Nepo bit, yeah. No, what do you say? Something like, you haven't got any play since TNA lockdown, like 2000, whatever.
Yeah, it's another shot at that.
Yeah. Dutt fake starting the match, which led to Bowens and Lethal starting things off. The Guns appeared on stage, allowing Jarrett and Lethal to beat up on Daddy Ass. Singh also got into the action, whipping out the Acclaim and Cassidy with the Fargo strut. Singh blocked in Orange Cassidy and Daddy Ass hit with a famouser on Singh. Jarrett then used the stolen Golden Globe. I don't know why they're still carrying this thing around. I mean, it's got to be a replica, right?
I mean, sure, why not? I bet you they have a whole closet full of them.
Lethal took out Bowens with a lethal combination. Bowens eventually pinned Dutt after hitting the Scissor Me Timbers. The Acclaimed then had their stare down with the Guns, followed by a nice scissoring session with Daddy Ass and Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, fun match. You know, like they had the baby faces over. It's a bit of a tough pill to swallow, the fact that the Guns are tag team champions. That's all I'll say. I remember.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
They're.
I mean, if you want to talk about,
I'm not exactly the big fan of giving the tag titles to them, considering. Like, I'm trying to think of like who else could there be to take the titles off of the Acclaimed, and I just think like really the Guns. But I get it. Like their act is over. The Guns. They're pretty good. They're pretty good heels. Like they're pretty. Yeah, people say house boys all the time. Like okay. As far as like heat is concerned, and so
I mean, I guess I could see that they are legit. They're good heels in a sense where it's like you don't hate them, but you just want to see them get their asses kicked every week.
Yeah.
So I guess they're doing their job if you look at it like that. And on to the next match with Claudio Castagnoli, John Moxley. They defeated Rush and Preston Vance with Jose the assistant ringside. This was a Texas Tornado match. The match began with Rush and Vance attacking before the commercial break. Castagnoli saved Moxley after he was double teamed in the ring. Moxley retaliated by throwing chairs just all over the place because he's a madman. And I got a lot more to say about Moxley because I don't know.
Because he talks again.
No, he just talks about. I mean, we could talk about that too, but I just think he's corny as fuck sometimes. So he just keeps going back to the same. I'm crazy shtick. Rush hit Castagnoli with a chair on top of stacked chairs and a table on top of him. Moxley battled Rush while Vance punched him with a chain, causing him to bleed. Eventually, Vance got busted open too by Castagnoli when he had the chain wrapped around his fist. And it was kind of funny because Vance takes this punch from Claudio and he doesn't take it very well. And then Claudio just picks him up and pummels the shit out of him.
You ever seen that Triple H? Of course you've seen that Triple H Tough Enough video where it's like, like he says like a one guy doesn't sell his punch well enough, and he just says, "You sell like that in the ring, I tag you for real." So I guess that's what Claudio did to Vance. You know,
Rush called for the bull's horn, but Claudio speared him midair, and the match spilled to the outside as Vance attempted to hang Moxley with the chain, but Moxley reversed and choked out Vance with it to win the match.
That was a pretty good finish, actually. I thought that was real fun.
I think the one that like really out of everyone that looked good in this match was Preston Vance.
He looks like somebody. Like he looks like an actual like celebrity. I just can't get my fucking.
Oh, is it Bradley Cooper?
No.
Okay. He reminds me of one of my friend's ex-boyfriends, and I don't like that guy. So
who?
Preston Vance reminds me of one of my friend's ex-boyfriends.
Okay. Yeah. So, no. For that listener who knows who that is, that's
which is nobody because my friend doesn't even listen to the show. They're not a wrestling fan, but it's okay. But we move on because we had Mark Briscoe on the show. He defeated Josh Woods with Mark Sterling, Arya Daivari, and Tony Nese in his corner.
They all wore matching tights.
Did they all wear matching tights?
I mean, I think
I saw two of them. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the two of them.
It was they were cool looking tights. I mean,
not really bad. I didn't think they were great, like especially on Josh Woods, and he does. I don't think he has knee pads, and that's always going to be a weird look. So with those,
yeah.
Briscoe
won with the froggy elbow. Is it the froggy bow or froggy elbow? Just froggy.
Fuck I know, man.
All right. Although Woods did gain the upper hand with the help of Sterling, Daivari, and Nese, Lucha Brothers came out to Briscoe's aid and helped fight them off after a series of back and forth moves. Briscoe ultimately secured the victory with the rolling DVD and the froggy bow. So We move on to the MJF
Yeah,
promo.
let's hold our horses here. Mark. He also
Oh,
got
oh.
an
I
all
was,
elite graphic out of that too.
yeah, no, I had that in
So
here. I was going to try to
official.
hold up,
Mark Briscoe is
but
indeed all elite, which begs the question with the ROH tapings looming.
yeah.
Do you think they'll just make Mark Briscoe stay in ROH, or he'll just be one of those guys that just goes back and forth in AEW again, thus
Well,
kind of putting ROH in a weird spot, like they have always had once Tony bought him.
yeah, no, I mean, like it's weird to see Mark Briscoe. Like, he's got all elite now. That's awesome, good for him. But I still think he's gonna be tagging with somebody. I don't think he's just gonna drop the titles because he has to
Yeah,
drop those. Like, those tag titles have to do something, right? Like, I mean, I
I
guess you
don't.
could retire them.
I mean, yeah, he could vacate them. They could like dedicate like an entire tournament to to
Jay Briscoe, yeah.
Jay Briscoe. They could, but then I just don't see him replacing having another tag partner that just wouldn't feel. I mean, ultimately, it's all up to Mark
Oh
if
yeah,
he's okay with it.
no, yeah.
Um, but I see like a Mark Briscoe is a very charismatic. He's a very charismatic individual, especially considering what has been happening to him the past
Mhm.
month
Yeah,
and how he's taking that. And like we talked about that on our last couple of shows, where he just has the charisma to him to really like hold like the I love the redneck kung fu. I've always loved it. He's been doing that shtick for damn near 10 years and it never gets old.
yeah.
Um like he could be a really good mid card face like contender. Hell, even like a champion. I mean, you might even argue like he could be a main eventer someday. Like he just has that he
Well,
has that charisma. I think so. I think
I
so. I
mean,
mean, that was always the thing about Jay Briscoe. Like he kind of had the main event. Like he was ROH champion. He took the
yeah.
title off. I think it was either Cole or Steen. I don't remember. And that's I can I Mark Briscoe can be a really big star.
I mean, he definitely can be. I still think, like his current iteration of his character, like, I don't see him. I don't see that guy being
What do
like,
you mean? Like what is his current iteration other than
well,
just
like
charismatic hillbilly?
the redneck farm. The redneck farmer, like really redneck farmer, not
You're
just like.
telling me that in wrestling that gimmick cannot being a redneck cannot get over
I don't think
in
as world
professional
champion, when
wrestling.
you want your company to like have
That
that
motherfucker,
cool.
they had a cowboy as their champion.
And that's,
AEW.
yeah, he's like the millennial cool cowboy. He's going to like cool like country shows. What's that
Dude,
guy's name?
they're in Laredo, Texas. Like they're going to these places where that shit will get over.
Yeah.
Mark Briscoe.
I think he'd be a great mid
It's
card.
over with me, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
uh, I
I'm
think
not
he's
that.
great. I don't want to shit on Mark Briscoe. I think, there needs to be a little work done if he's going to be like a world champion. He could definitely be ROH world
Well, you want
champion.
him to have teeth? You don't like those gaps?
Might be a. Can you see
That's
Mark
your
Briscoe
reason.
doing the morning show? Channel 7,
He
Good
literally
Morning
did
America.
he did he did like local TV weather reports. It was either him or Jay, but
All
that was,
right. Well, speaking of,
you should definitely watch like some of the home videos that like like ROH like put together, like the vignettes for them. Like there's video of Mark Briscoe um working a chicken farm, and he said like the best type of jobs are the ones where you're really just in the deep of things. Like my boots is covered in chicken shit, and that's the best type of job because it makes you humble, like something in that vein.
no. Well,
Good stuff. Mark
good stuff.
Briscoe, he can be a star, and I think he is a star, honestly.
We move on to MJF. He came out to cut an in-ring promo. He kind of came out just talking about how Bryan Danielson is overrated and that the only way to be the best in the world is to win the AEW World Championship.
Like
Now,
to me,
what
it
did,
was just okay. Go ahead.
what did you think about that line, "best in the world"? Did you think there was anything to that? I mean, there has
Honestly,
been kind of talk.
I didn't even notice until you told me.
There
Like
has been talk of Punk.
that's such a faux pas. Like that is such a faux pas phrase nowadays. Like that people just say all the time now. And if any, it flew over my head.
Okay. I mean, the second he said it, I was just like, huh. Meltzer's been talking about Punk possibly coming back in 2 months or so. So I don't know. To me, that was just kind of like he's like, oh, if you want to be the best in the world, who calls up? Yeah. Anyways, MJF then introduced someone that he said knows Danielson for years, and out came Christopher Daniels. Daniels immediately pulled out a envelope full of money, saying how MJF paid him to talk shit on Daniels, but he told MJF that this in a couple weeks that Bryan Danielson will beat his dick into the dirt.
Ew.
That was the
We're all gonna see that, Corey. Looking forward to it.
I mean, what dirt? We're going to be at the Chase Center. There is no dirt, not even on the outside. Everything's like paved nicely. He's got to take him a couple blocks away.
You can grind that. You can remove the ring canvas, get that plywood, and then just grind it, and then just shove his dick into the plywood dust.
There we go.
It's gonna be a hell of a show. I'm gonna be so bummed out if they don't do it. It'd be the worst show ever if they don't do that.
Daniels also called MJF a fraud, leading to him slapping MJF. MJF punted Daniels in the balls and eventually locked in the salt of the earth.
Did you bring up the whole APW shout out that he did for the King of the Indies, and how he said without APW King of the Indies,
I
there
didn't
would
even hear
be no
that.
ROH, and without ROH, there would be no AEW. I thought that was your main takeaway from this promo.
I didn't even hear that. Wow.
Big ups to Christopher Daniels bringing up APW and King of the Indies.
Speaking of, I'm distracting real quick, jumping over to another company, WWE. Cody has said that he is his WrestleMania weight belt is going to have every independent promotion he wrestled for while away from WWE on the belt. Like, so their logo will be on the belt. Big thing. The first thing I thought of was APW because he's wrestled there a good handful of times over a lot of other independent promotions. So,
yeah.
Yes, that is something that has happened. Next up, Jungle Boy Jack Perry defeated ROH 6-man champion Brian Cage because apparently he's the only 6-man champion in ROH. We haven't seen the other two guys. So I don't know. This is a rematch from Winter is Coming. Perry utilized the speed. He worked on Cage throughout the most of the match. Throughout the break, though, Cage controlled Perry and executed his signature second rope suplex from the apron to inside the ring. Perry managed to drop Cage with a enziguri and even hit a top rope splash for a close 2 count, but eventually secured the win with a crucifix bomb, thrust kick, and roll up. Now, as Perry was walking backstage, Christian Cage's music hit, and he came out with a sling arm in his sling, and that's when Jungle Boy, the ever so spry babyface, decided to charge a man whose arm is in a sling, and ended up getting maced for it, or cold sprayed in the face, because that's what you do when somebody's trying to attack you and you're injured. You fucking mace them. I don't know.
My favorite Retribution member.
To me, Maze, yes. I don't know. I was more of a, what was Mia Yim's name? Or
fucking, I don't know.
Retribution? Or no, that was the
No, that's the group.
Revitalization. I don't know. Anyways, but so this angle to me though, it's feeling very TNA. And I'm not gonna say like, oh, TNA Lockdown 2010, but it's very TNA to me. Just Christian just coming back. Like Christian just came back, and it's just like, oh, I'm here. We're gonna have a match. Yeah,
he was just like all he did was put Jack Perry in a false sense of security. The fact that he's in a sling, but just swerved him and pepper sprayed him, and then just revealed to everybody that his arm is actually okay, and that he's back. I'm back, Jack.
It just, to me, it just seemed like it was like, okay, go out there and do this. Let's just get it over with. That's what it felt like when I was watching it. But
yeah, but what's TNA about that? Like a lot of
they didn't really give a shit about a lot of storylines, so they would just kind of say go out there and get it over with to a lot of the guys.
Yeah, whatever.
So, well, you know what? Don't defend TNA so much, Michael. Okay, I know it's your company, but I'm
not even gonna say it.
We get a announcement of a tag team tournament, 2 tag team tournaments or battle royales. Okay, backstage, Renee Paquette, she announces that at Revolution, the Guns will defend their titles against 3 teams. The first team will be the winner of a traditional tag team battle royal next week, while the second team will be determined in a casino battle royal the following week at AEW Dynamite at the Cow Palace. that claimed a Daddy Ass interrupted and announced that they will be invoking their rematch clause, making a fatal 4-way. So it's just, to me, like I said, this just seems to slap together. Like, if they're going to have the Guns continue to be the champions, then why put the Acclaimed back in this? And why not, or just have them beat them one-on-one? You know,
I kind of noticed something. Is there a singles match in AEW? No, like a regular non-gimmick match in Revolution.
I haven't pulled up the entire card, but I mean, I'm guessing Cage or Christian Cage and Jungle Boy.
Do you think that's going to happen?
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I for sure think that's going to happen, because
I feel like that's too early.
I mean, you have, but that's why I think they're rushing it. Why do it now then? Why not do it after the pay-per-view if they're going to like wait till the next pay-per-view? Or have Christian interrupt a Jungle Boy match pre or whatever they call it, the buy-in. So,
we got Samoa Joe versus Wardlow for the singles.
Okay,
it's a regular singles match, TNT Championship.
Oh yeah, because Samoa Joe cut Wardlow's hair, which was a tribute to his dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I mean, there's a reason. There's actually a pretty good reason for it. We'll get there.
Who do you think the other two teams are going to be in this Revolution match?
God, I can't even name you two other teams like in the AEW tag division. That was what I was going to allude to earlier. Where, yeah, you got the Guns. What do you got? Hollywood Blondes? Is that still a thing?
No.
Jurassic Express isn't a thing? I mean, Are they going to put the Lucha Brothers?
Oh yeah, probably the Lucha Brothers, because they just came back.
Like they'll probably get fit in there.
FTR.
I mean, I think they're still in break, and I think it'd be too early for them to return.
The only thing I just don't want to happen,
it'd probably be FTR. That would actually be a pretty good pop.
Is I don't want FTR to come back to defeat the Guns, because they had that little feud before they went away, and I didn't want that to be setting up for just like the Guns to be this what do they call it again? In between transitional champion. Yeah. To me, I
don't see the Acclaimed getting the tag titles back anytime soon. I'll say that. I think they kind of spun their wheel. Yeah, they dropped it, so they kind of spun their wheel. I felt like they kind of spun their wheels as champions at this point. Like, I wasn't, as much as I have my druthers on the fact that the Guns are tag team champions.
Yeah.
There's not much I can say about any justification of the Acclaimed keeping those titles in either, and that's just it's kind of weird. Like, if anything, it's the tags and the women's then that are like the two things in AEW that I think are kind of just they're kind of losing me on. We'll get there.
Yeah. Backstage, we have the Elite, Don Callis, Michael Nakazawa. They're backstage just talking about the NBA All-Star Weekend, setting up a match with Top Flight and AR Fox. They tease House of Black, challenging the Elite, kind of sort of in a Bray Wyatt-esque screen distortion part. I don't know.
Bro, that match is gonna fucking rule, though.
Oh yeah, House of Black versus the Elite.
Totally gonna fucking rule. Like, I was like, yes, please.
And you think they're the best pick to like face the Elite right now at this point?
By a country mile. I mean, next to Death Triangle, like House of Black would be fucking that's. There's not much to convince me. Like, yeah, you can do your vignettes, you can do your like little promos, and you can do your like stuff, but like AEW is just kind of a company. I do kind of feel this way about most wrestling promotions, where like in the way I like what I watch out of my wrestling is that you tell me that a match is happening between two individuals that I know are capable of doing, like, putting them out on the best, most entertaining show possible. Like, there's not much to sell me on that. So if you just straight up announce House of Black and the Elite, like, I'm there, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna literally.
You will be there.
We'll be there.
Next up, Hangman Adam Page defeated Kip Sabian, Penelope Ford in his corner. Earlier in the night, I didn't even mention that. Earlier in the night, Hangman Page was attacked by Kip Sabian, Butcher and the Blade. So there was that. The match started with both men avoiding dives until Sabian took control with a double leg moonsault to the floor, distracting Page. Eventually distracting Page with his wife, Penelope Ford. Sabian controlled during the break, but Page regained the upper hand and hit a pop-up power bomb back inside. Page then countered Sabian's reverse DDT and secured the victory with the Deadeye. Now, after the match, Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, they all just mosey down to the ring, and Hangman doesn't say one word, and Moxley just goes, "Let it go, Hangman, let it go." And I'm like, dude,
you're the one who lost.
Let what go? Like Paige just had a match, and you just stroll out here talking shit like, "Hey, you can't let it go.
I mean,
Why
he
don't
kept
you let it
talking
go?"
about him. Like Hangman has kept on talking about him like throughout this week, how he was less than satisfied on how he won that match. Which
Well,
I
yeah, I mean,
haven't really like. There's no reason why Hangman should really. I mean, I guess like he felt. I thought the direction of the storyline was that he felt remorse of knocking out Moxley.
No, I just that one moment, I'm just like, Moxley comes out and he's just like, "Let it go." I'm like, he didn't say anything. Mox, what? Okay, you're talking about something from 2 weeks ago after you won. He's like, "Let it go. I won the match." Yes, you did. Okay, I know it's to build a setup to a match. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know. Like
Nitpicky.
it's like the matches themselves between each other have been great. I mean, besides the first one that ended with Hangman getting concussed, but like they honestly do have tremendous chemistry with each other, but it's not something's not like, but then everything but the match isn't exactly clicking with me. Like you're absolutely right in that regard. And it only got even weirder.
Yeah, as soon as Evil Uno and the Dark Order come out, because Moxley makes mention, "Oh, you don't have any friends, Hangman." And Hangman, who apparently broke off from the Dark Order months ago, the Dark
wanted
Order
to distance himself.
Yeah, no, for sure. They came out with Evil Uno wearing a purple suit. Yeah, I don't want to point it out, but the jacket didn't really button, but
we can relate.
No, I can. I have a couple shirts that don't fit on me anymore. But he comes out and he gets right in Moxley's face, telling Hangman Page to move, and even pie facing Moxley. And now they're going to have a match next week, so it's going to be Evil Uno versus Moxley. I mean, I don't know. It made Uno look.
It's going to be a good match. Like it's, I no, well, yeah, no, I think it's going to be a good match. I think like Uno's going to get fucking destroyed. Hangman's gonna be like, "Don't hurt my friend," even though I didn't think he was that. Like, stop it.
Yeah,
and that's what's gonna happen. Mox is gonna find a way to bleed
again. Probably by razor blade.
Which really,
AEW's got to
wind
work on
will
this.
breeze and he'll get blood.
Those camera cuts, though, they get everyone handing the blade off to the referee like every week.
Yeah, like live television.
I mean, was it Takeshita a couple weeks ago? Just like, here you go, Rick Knox. Thank you. Then we had the main event for the evening. Ruby Soho defeated Toni Storm.
Interesting placement. But then once you really get through like the whole entire show, like what else could main event? Yeah. Honestly.
Before the match, Saraya and Storm beat up on a fan who was ringside and had a Dr. Britt Baker sign. I didn't really get that. Like, it's just Toni Storm and Saraya are just cheeseball as fuck to me. Like they're sitting there like spray painting the L on everyone. They're spray painting each other's butts. Like they're ripping up, like having planted fans there to beat them up. To me, it's just a little like, why? Like, why is this all necessary?
It's pretty slapdash together, to be honest with you. I don't think a lot of thought is being put into this whole ex-WWE versus the original AEW angle. Like there's not like Jamie Hayter just happens to be there, even though she's the champion. And like, I didn't come away from this thinking who would be
challenging Hayter.
Who's challenging Hayter for the title, or like especially when she had a really really great match against Emi Sakura. Like if anything, just try to. I'm not entirely sold on this whole I'm not sold on the ex-WWE versus original AEW original, when really it should just be built around Jamie Hayter. Like they should really kind of just traditionally stick towards building around when you have a division that doesn't have a lot of doesn't have a lot of real estate in regards to the 2 hours, let alone 3 hours for Rampage. Like I think.
Do you think
you really got to make them count? You got to make them count. What?
Do you think Hayter was ready to be champion?
I
Like, is
think
this a
so.
result
No,
of
that I do think so because Jamie Hayter was really over. She was getting really over once like she got like some moment, like she kept her momentum being beside Britt and had a really great match against Tony Storm, and like they pulled the trigger when they really needed to for Jamie Hayter.
yeah? Well,
That I think so,
one
but
reason I asked that is because Tony Khan has always been someone who's followed the plan from A to Z. He like even if it gets just like like gone a different route, it goes to the left, it goes to the right. He will still go back to that A through Z. And to me, it seems like okay, Jamie got hot. Let's put the title on her, and now they're kind of like okay, she's just on the back burner while Saraya, while Tony Storm, while Britt Baker, while Ruby Soho are just kind of like
I mean you can put
arguing around.
Saraya as your challenger. I think you can make Saraya the challenger against Jamie Hayter. I think that's one thing that's one logical conclusion point towards this
Yeah.
storyline. But even then, like, I guess that's just a way for them to put Ruby Soho on television. It's a way to get Tony Storm on television. Way to get Britt Baker on television. It's
Despite
you're
getting,
juggling plates at this point when really
yeah,
what you should be doing is do what makes sense and do what's really over. And it was and to me, what was most over was Jamie Hayter. But I just do think they're just trying to appease Saraya, appease Tony Storm, like because they want to
I
use
think it's
them.
more Saraya. I mean, Tony Storm. I mean, she's
Tony Storm's a good get. Tony Storm's
yeah.
a major get.
No,
Like
you're right. You're right. But
but I
like,
understand. Yeah,
is it
but I
Ruby
understand. Like
Soho at that same level
Tony
of Tony
Storm does
Storm?
not have a movie starring Florence Pugh based on her life.
Exactly, with the Rock in it.
Paige here.
And so during the match, Storm wiped out Baker with the Sweet Cheeks music. That's when Saraya spray painted her butt green and then she hit it. I think they were trying to get the spray paint to smear on Britt's face, but I think the paint dried a little too fast. Storm wiped out Hayter with a tornado DDT on the floor. Eventually, Soho ended winning the match by rolling up Baker, which the show ended with Hayter and Saraya arguing with Ruby Soho in the middle. She's just like, just stop it. I can't take all this fighting.
I think this was a weird ending to, like, if anything, this was probably the weirdest Dynamite I've seen in like months, honestly.
So you want to know something real quick? So real quick, Ruby Soho winning and I guess setting her up as the possible number one contender for Jamie Hayter's title. I thought was only a reason so they can play Rancid in the Chase Center, and you're gonna have Rancid play it live.
They already did it. But they're
gonna do it again. You know what I mean? Or be there live and you just show
Probably
up.
just
Oh,
get
it's
Lars
Rancid. Oh, that's they sing the song.
I see that guy on the street like way more than I honestly should.
Oh,
I think I live
Armstrong?
around the same neighborhood.
Tim Armstrong?
Lars from Rancid.
Oh, dude, Lars. Okay, first off, he's a huge wrestling fan, and his kids are even bigger wrestling fans.
Okay.
So he is at almost every independent show I've been to.
Not even independent shows. Like on my way to my neighborhood Safeway.
Oh,
he's just there.
He's like, oh,
like I think we live in the same neighborhood.
Probably.
Or he's just like, and you can't miss him too because
Will he? The question is, Michael, will he get a free round of karaoke if he comes into the your bar that you work at?
That's not how karaoke works. We don't do rounds. We just do turns. That's what you're referring to.
Does he get a free turn?
I think
I'm putting you on the spot here, man.
I don't think Lars Fredrickson has time for karaoke. I think he'll big time me. I don't blame him.
Did you see did you see there was a video of Brian Cage buying his figure at Target? He like puts the figure on the conveyor belt with his face showing to the register.
Me.
And the guy's just like, hey, how you doing? Boop, boop. Oh, that would be $19.99. Brian's like, this guy's fucking no-selling me, man.
I'm Brian Cage, the most famous wrestler in the world.
I'm the biggest wrestler in the world.
I'm the Machine.
The Wolverine. It is funny when you see old pictures of him back when he was a little tiny guy. But that was AEW Dynamite. It's okay show, I guess. Speaking of television shows, though, we move on because a weekly ROH TV series.
Last of Us episode 4. Here we go. Recap.
I haven't even started the series yet.
Me neither. Me neither.
We're not.
Yeah.
Although I had to correct something at work. Somebody was like, "The Last of Us, a zombie apocalypse show." I'm like,
It kind of is. Well,
nah, they're like fungus. They're not zombies. They're not living dead. Not gonna get into it, but anyways, a weekly ROH TV
okay.
series has finally been given a premiere date. In an interview with SI.com on Wednesday, ROH owner Tony Khan announced that the show will debut Thursday, March 2nd, 2023, on its own streaming service. So that's right. If you got nothing to do in between AEW Dynamite and Rampage on Friday when you're in San Francisco, you could sit at your hotel room and watch ROH TV.
That's so weird. That's just so much in the shuffle of
Well,
with
it
all
is.
the Revolution madness. But I guess they think they're like AEW would be hot in that coming week where they would just want to stack it up with something like an ROH premiere. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, the date is exactly 1 year since the purchase of the company, so I think it's just coincidental.
Yeah.
The first set of tapings will take place at Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida, Saturday, February 25th, and then Sunday, February 26th. This will be available on Honor Club, the ROH streaming service. So I don't know, ROH TV, you got to pay for it. What do you think of that, Michael?
Depends on the card.
I mean, it's not even just the card. Like, this is like you have to pay for the monthly service just
I
to
mean, I
watch.
pay a monthly service to watch AEW.
And now you're gonna have to pay
You know what I
another
mean?
service to watch
Uh,
ROH.
it'll probably be, let's see, AEW Plus is like $6. They could, if they do like 4 and just kind of like,
But for ROH,
or do a package deal where like
well,
you can get both for 10, even
they
though
could.
like
But right now, our the Honor Club is at $9.99 a month.
that's rough. That's pretty rough.
Yeah. So I mean,
You have to be really into ROH to do that, and if you're really into ROH and you're just not,
so if you're Samoa Joe or Jay Lethal, you'll be ordering these streaming services. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. A lot of people are into ROH.
yeah, no, there's no. I
All
mean,
right.
what is ROH? We're still trying to figure that out.
Oh, the new. Oh, yeah, the
And
new incarnation of ROH. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it could be like an NXT style thing, but I don't think they
I mean,
want
they got to do something for Claudio. They got to do something for Wheeler. They got to do something for your tags.
Josh Woods.
Yeah.
You gotta do something for
Yeah.
Josh Woods, you know.
You got to do something for Josh Woods. We dedicated a match to him with Mark Briscoe.
Even Mark Briscoe. It's like, will he be? I think he'll probably be one
He'll
of the
probably be
headliners.
champion, to be honest with you.
Yeah. All right,
That'd be all right. That'd be a nice, sweet thing to do for Briscoe. I mean,
being ROH champ. No, I could definitely see him as ROH champion. I said that earlier. Like I was saying, I just don't think AEW champion. Anyways, let's move on to Elimination Chamber, because I want to talk a little bit more about Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn. Because we're just
because not enough wrestling podcasts talk about that.
Well,
we gotta get our takes in for that.
We're just a few days away from Elimination Chamber, and Roman Reigns, like I said, is set to defend his undisputed Universal Championship against Sami Zayn. And while other years, this pay-per-view in between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania has kind of been a speed bump, this year there is significant intrigue to this particular main event because of the Bloodline storyline. On one hand, we have Cody Rhodes, whose story for almost the last year has been winning the WWE Championship, a title his father has never won. But momentum has been building behind the Montreal Kid, the kid who bears a striking resemblance to El Generico. That's right, Sami Zayn, to defeat Roman Reigns at Elimination Chamber. Rhodes has commented on Sami's match with Ariel Helwani on the MMA Hour. He says, "I can't compare anything to Montreal other than Punk in Chicago. As composed as Roman is, this is a very unique situation." So the idea,
I mean, is
what
it
do you
really?
think? Yeah.
Is it really that unique when considering they did the same shit with Drew McIntyre at Clash at the Castle?
And he was over like Rover over there, man.
Like, to me, like that, I don't think that matters. I think once you see like once people like after Clash at the Castle, like I was like really and this was I don't know if this was pre-Vince or post-Vince. It was probably post-Vince. Post Vince, but then pre-post Vince because Vince is back. Gets really muddy. I want to say like they do not. They're like Roman is keeping that title because if they wanted, if WWE was a company, regardless of who's running it, was a company that like dictated, like let the hometown dictate the booking, then Roman would have lost at Clash of the Castle. So to me, that whole Montreal thing with Elimination Chamber, like, no, I don't think Sammy's winning, and I don't even think he's main eventing WrestleMania. It's gonna be a consolation prize. This is gonna end. This is gonna end with a complete breakdown of the bloodline when they lose, when Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens win the tag team champions, and
Yeah.
like that's a predict. That's I always kind of see it as a consolation prize, kind of like a little bit of a measly consolation prize, considering Sami Zayn being one of the the hottest like the hottest number one babyface of that entire company, which is a fucking farce for me to say that 2 years ago. Hell, maybe even 1 year ago. So it's a good they always said like it's a good problem to have when you have two very very over baby faces because again I'm never gonna deny it. Cody Rhodes is over. Cody
Yeah.
Rhodes is arguably, and you can make an argument that Cody Rhodes is absolutely the guy to beat Roman.
Oh, yeah. I think so.
And I do think that if that's your plan going forward, I think you're gonna have to make good on that. And for Sami Zayn to be in the position that he is in, he could always like he doesn't have to beat Roman. Well, okay, no, he does have to beat Roman for this entire thing to make
Maybe a
sense.
little later down the road.
But yeah, maybe a little bit later down the road. But then like you could also morph that storyline into Sami Zayn actually competing for the world title, not against Roman. And who knows? What if Roman loses a championship to Cody Rhodes? Cody Rhodes is gonna keep the title until SummerSlam. Sami Zayn is gonna you try to maintain momentum with Sami Zayn. Oh, but he's gonna be
That's gonna be hard. That's gonna be
no, but he's
really
gonna be
hard.
tag team champion. I mean, he could
Yeah.
lose the tag team championship between
Mm.
WrestleMania and SummerSlam. He could
They have to
on an
strike
episode,
now.
on an episode of SmackDown,
Yeah.
and then you'd have Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn on SummerSlam. You have Sami Zayn win. Roman Reigns comes back, and then in the next pay-per-view or hell Survivor Series, if we're really talking down the line, you have Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns for the title defense. Like, oh, you never beat me. I smashed you on Montreal in your hometown. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a really bad Roman Reigns impression, and that's
No, I
that's
like
what you
it.
do. That's what you do.
I
That's
heard the veneers. I heard the veneers there of
yeah,
Roman Reigns.
I don't have
Yeah,
any.
no, but like it to me, it's just yeah.
I don't think it's Sami. I don't think Sami's winning,
Oh, I don't
and
either.
I think you see a lot more value in Sami Zayn being the progenitor of breaking down the bloodline from
The
from
Empire.
within in using the Usos than it is taking the titles off Roman. Even though,
Yeah.
I mean, you heard Meltzer himself saying, "Hey, I think Sammy should go over. That would be weird." And I
Nah,
do think it
nah.
would be weird.
But
I'm
Sami
not that.
Zayn winning
I'm
both,
not.
holding those belts up. Yes,
I
it would
just
be cool, very
people
cool, but
and people are comparing Sami Zayn to Daniel Bryan 2013. Like,
the the storyline is what I would say, not him, but the actual
I
trajectory
mean,
of
you
the
could.
superstar.
I mean, Sami Zayn is very much, cut from the same cloth as Danielson, despite being 6 feet. I mean, he has the same hair, he has the same beard.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't think the dynamics of that storyline were completely different. So when people actually do compare him to Danielson from 2013, like, you don't even know, man. First of all, that shit was 10 years ago. 10 years ago. Ugh. And it
But okay,
was
so
different. It was super different.
the big question: will Sammy cut his hair for Elimination Chamber?
I hope so. He looks terrible. As much as I fucking love Danielson's look, it worked because like he was also short,
Yeah,
but it's not working for me with Zayn because first of all, I have the image of him when he started NXT where it was hot, like him and I have the same haircut and he had a really trimmed ass beard.
yeah.
And like he was like super slim, but that was also 10 years ago. Sami Zayn is not Sami Zayn from 10 years ago. That guy had both his shoulders replaced. And man's it's really just too bad. It's really too bad. Like they did not give him this booking when he first got called up,
Yeah.
because I see a lot more of that Sami Zayn. Love some more value of, Sami Zayn of 10 years ago than I do today. But then he's been apparently been doing amazing work, and he's making it work. And the people want him to be the one to take out Roman, and it makes all the sense in the world. But I just don't see it happening. And I
I
don't think I would make I don't think I would make that decision either. I think it's got to be Cody.
I think the big pop for Sami Zayn is going to be when Roman is going to happen at WrestleMania. He's going to try to pull out a chair, and then all of a sudden you're going to see, and it's going to be interference, and all of a sudden Sami Zayn is going to come out haluva kick, thwarting him and helping out Cody.
That match is going to be fucking hot.
Yeah, I cannot. I have not been excited for WrestleMania main event like I am this one in a
like that
very long.
atmosphere is going to be insane.
I think since the WrestleMania I went to, I haven't been excited for a main event like this.
Yeah.
No. Okay,
that's honestly been. We don't have to get into it, but that's still. I don't regret not going to that WrestleMania.
Well,
despite like everybody saying how like great
fun.
it was, like it was a pretty good event. Like it just wasn't intriguing to me. Like, yes,
it is one of those moments. Every time you see Seth Rollins going, I won. I'm like, I was there. Pretty cool. Well, let's look at the whole card for Elimination Chamber real quick, because it's another 5-match card. Ever since Triple H took over, we're getting the NXT formula.
I'm for it. I love 5-match cards.
Oh, I love it too. Don't get me wrong. So it's just copy and paste, though, kind of from Royal Rumble, because it's 2 Elimination Chamber matches and then women's title. Okay, let's go through it. Elimination Chamber for the United States Championship.
It's this Saturday, right?
Yeah, this Saturday.
Wait, same as Battle in the Valley?
Oh, yeah. Elimination Chamber starts at 4. Battle in the Valley starts at 7 Pacific. Austin Theory defending his United States Championship against Seth Rollins, Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, and Montez Ford in the Elimination Chamber.
So interesting. Your Elimination Chamber, the namesake of the pay-per-view, is for your mid-card title.
I mean, yeah.
Hey, if you want to elevate that Intercontinental Championship, I mean, like,
or the United States,
that's the goal, right? Yeah. Or United States, yeah.
I don't know why today I kept thinking like Austin Theory really reminds me of Buff Bagwell in his early days. I don't know why. Maybe it's just his.
I definitely do not think about Buff Bagwell when I think of. No, you have a point.
Exactly. Do you have anyone? Do you think is going to come out of this match? I mean, I think Austin Theory is going to retain and go on to face. What is it? John Cena at Mania for the U.S. title.
Yeah. No, that's what's going to happen.
Another Elimination Chamber match. This time for the Raw Women's title. Asuka. Have you even talked about Asuka's new look? Have you, Kana in WWE? What do you think of this?
It's what she was years ago.
She's beating ass on Raw last night.
She revived. It's a reboot of her look. It got a gigantic reaction to the people who are into Asuka, which I'm into Asuka. I'm not really.
Yeah.
Not much I can really say about that other than it's a makeover and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, my girlfriend's really into Asuka right now. She loves Asuka. So
there's not a lot to hate about Asuka.
In correction, this is actually for a shot at the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania 39. Asuka versus Liv Morgan versus Nikki Cross versus Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalya versus Carmella. Carmella's going to Mania, isn't she?
No, it's James Ellsworth.
Oh, that's right. He's going to win it for her. No, but I mean, it's either Asuka or Raquel in this match, right? Going to face Bianca.
But wait, isn't Raquel a SmackDown?
But so is Liv Morgan. So is Carmella. So is Natalya.
Wait, then who's okay? So is it for their respective brands?
No, this is for a shot at the WWE Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania 39. And
they have 2 SmackDown girls.
Yeah, because Rhea's taking on Charlotte for the belt. So they got through. Is it Raquel,
Okay.
Natalia, and
Okay.
Carmella, who are all from SmackDown? Yeah.
No Becky
So
Lynch. No Becky Lynch.
no Becky.
What the
Well,
fuck
not
is
yet.
Becky doing? What the fuck is Becky doing?
It's
Oh wait, Bailey. The whole Bailey thing.
she doesn't have a match scheduled right now, but we move on. We talked about it. Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn. Roman Reigns. Cool Dad Edge and Beth Phoenix, the cool
The
parents
Corey
take on
couple.
the cool. Did you see that video Beth Phoenix posted of Edge with his daughter just like dancing at the father-daughter dance, and he's just letting loose like a weirdo
Sure, why
dad?
not? Sure,
It
why
was
not? That's a
it,
thing
it,
dads
it was
do.
just heartwarming, you know.
Of
It was good to
course.
see
How
that.
can it not be?
They're taking on Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley. Mixed tag match, so there's that.
TV. It's a television match, honestly.
Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar, and they've been doing a pretty good build to this, in my opinion, the past couple of weeks. What do you think of Brock and Bobby?
Two fucking barrels of men duking
Two
it
big,
out.
beefy beefcakes, just
It's
beefing
gonna
it
be
up in the ring.
it's gonna be like a fucking 6 to 7 minute car crash, which it probably should be.
I
Because you
don't know.
don't get paid by the hour, and it's.
I'm
I
pulling
mean,
for.
there might be just some fuckery abound, and they're just gonna run it back on Mania. I think Lashley will probably win, and then Brock is gonna win it at Mania.
Yeah.
But then Brock is your Intercontinental Champion.
Or no, Brock. What?
Wait, what's Bobby Lashley? So is it
Gunther's Intercontinental Champion.
okay? Shows
Yeah,
how much I know.
he's on the card. No, they're just beefing it up in the ring. No title. The title of a pound of ground beef. That's what the winner gets. It gets a big pot of chili. Yeah. Well, that's Elimination Chamber, but we also mentioned earlier, taking place the same night is New Japan Pro Wrestling's Battle in the Valley.
Would you have gone? Do you regret not getting tickets to that show?
No, the only match that I'm kind of looking at this card, I mean, there's a few that I would be down to see. The Kazuchika Okada Tanahashi match would be fucking phenomenal to see live. The Kyrie versus Mercedes Moné wasn't really a seller for me. I saw that match. They announced it after Wrestle Kingdom, and I was just kind of like, cool. Like, okay. Like, I don't know. They haven't really been doing much with Mercedes. She hasn't been doing any vignettes online. I don't see how they're building her character. I can't hear you at all. You're on mute. There you go.
Sorry about that. But the curiosity factor, yeah, no, my cough button, it was on a toggle.
Oh,
The
yeah.
curiosity factor for seeing like what Mercedes Moné is going to bring to an all Japan, New Japan environment.
All of New Japan.
That's definitely like a seller to me. Like
Yeah.
and I have to buy that show too on Fight. It's
Oh,
not
shit,
on.
you're
It's
right.
not on. It's not on.
I mean, really? It's
yeah.
not. It's
I
not
mean,
on
for English
fucking...
commentary. So if you want Japanese commentary, I think.
All right. Well, I guess me and my girlfriend are watching Japanese commentary that night because I'm not paying what, $40, $30.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's go through the
Okada versus because
Tanahashi. Yeah.
Tanahashi. They're doing that again. You know, it's been a while. I mean, it's been like 2 years. I think the last time they met was that G1.
Yeah.
Where they no, it was that title defense. And that was that title defense for like the most title defenses that'll beat Tanahashi's record, and he did.
And will Tanahashi have his front teeth back? That's the question.
Did he lose it with that whole Kato Kiyomiya angle?
No, he lost it, I guess, biting into a protein bar.
Damn, that sucks. you can lose. Honestly, you can lose your teeth in the most mundane ways possible. Like
yes. Especially when you have. I think he had veneers, so they were
okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes even more sense. Like they're like way more sensitive. I mean,
delicate,
the thing is, if you can get veneers, you could probably get veneers fixed. Like you can afford that.
Yeah.
Not everybody, like everyone's like Michael B. Jordan or Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Have you seen Michael? Dude, it's crazy. Michael B. Jordan. I've seen him.
He's got that new movie coming out, right?
Creed 3. Creed 3. I didn't really like Creed 2.
I never even saw the first one. I'm going to go on a
Creed 1 is one of the greatest movies of all time.
Oh. Okay.
Creed 2 is just okay. It was more of the same, honestly.
Well, let's go through the card. There's a couple pre-show matches. David Finlay versus Bobby Fish. after Bobby Fish got a graphics designer to make him a flyer. Did you see that?
What?
So online about a month or so ago, 2 months ago, Bobby Fish posted this picture of him, and it was just a regular 8x10 with just text. It's just written text from the Instagram app. Available for bookings. Email this. And somebody was like, hey, I'm a graphic designer. I will make this for you for free. And made him great flyer that he posted all around. And it just comes like, Bobby, come on, like put a little effort into it. I don't know.
That's about as much effort as I'm willing to give Bobby nowadays.
Alex Coughlin versus JR Kratos, his Kratos hometown match. Then we have the main show, Mascaras Dorada.
Is he from San Jose? Is he like?
He's from the Bay Area, I believe, Sacramento. I mean, I'm just saying a hometown match because they're not going to Sacramento.
Yeah.
Mascaras Dorada, Josh Alexander and Adrian Quest, and Rocky Romero versus Kushida, Volador Jr., Kevin Knight, and the DKC in an 8-man tag. Fred Rosser is going to defend his strong open weight championship against Kenta. I don't know. Kenta's Kenta. I mean,
Kenta's Kenta. He'll kick people. He'll walk around the ring. He'll probably do the go to sleep. Ain't nobody doing that no more right now.
Not for another 2 months.
Yeah.
The Motor City Machine Guns are set to face the world-class Wrecking Crew, the team of Jarrell Nelson and Royce Isaacs, who I've loved these guys for so long.
It's a good spot. Like they're due for this spotlight, I think.
Yeah.
Jay White, good on them.
Jay White versus Eddie Kingston in a loser leaves New Japan. So Jay White lost his loser leaves Japan match, and he's doubling down on it with a loser leaves New Japan match. So
yeah, I wonder who wins that match. It's gonna be me.
Well, you got one guy who's on his way out, and one guy who's just contracted to another company. So it could happen. I mean,
put your money where your mouth is, Jay White.
Eddie Kingston could lose.
I'm waving my Eddie Kingston.
Put his joint out. Put your joint out, Eddie. Put your joint out so you can talk better.
Bye, Eddie Kingston.
Bye. Tom Lawler versus Homicide in a filthy rules match. Zack Sabre Jr. is going to defend his New Japan World Television Championship. There's just like how many titles?
I forget the time limit. I think
15.
it's like 10 minutes. Oh, 15.
Yeah. And that one will be free for you to watch, Michael, because those are always
good.
Free on New
That'll be
Japan
free for you to watch too. I wonder how much it is actually. Let me look on Fight. Keep going.
And then the singles match for the IWGP. Jesus Christ, there is more belts in here than Ross after a sale. That one joke didn't work. Anyways, Kairi's defending her IWGP title against Mercedes Moné, which we talked a little bit about, and Kazuchika Okada versus Hiroshi Tanahashi for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. And personally, I mean, do you know when Okada
$20?
$20? All right, that's not bad. When is Okada set to have this match against the Noah champion? Do we know?
That's the Muto show. Hold on.
So I mean, because if that's the case,
Muto's like 5th retirement match.
Bye.
Yeah,
the
bye.
But no, like I mean, to me, I mean, this is going to end in Okada winning and then Homeboy coming out. Just like
I could see Kiyomiya winning, honestly.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, like with this Tanahashi Okada match, I mean, we're just gonna get. Was it you said Kinomiya? What's his name?
Kato Kiyomiya.
There you go. I don't know. You do. That's why we have you, Michael. I don't know. It's gonna be a great match either way.
It's definitely like. It's really honestly that's probably like the rivalry of the year like on so far. The way like those guys are just you kind of get to see a side of Okada that you normally just don't see. Like I'm looking at this Wrestling Inc. story because Kazuchika Okada no shows Pro Wrestling Noah post press conference. Like he's just big timing Kiyomiya as much as he can until he feels like it. And when he feels like it, boy, he lets Kiyomiya feel like it. Like that guy. It just shows a side of Okada that is like quite possibly the most interesting direction you can take him.
I love when he comes out.
What the fuck is this match? What the hell?
I love when he came out to attack him too, because he came out in like just a t-shirt and jeans, and he was just like, "Yeah, fuck this."
About everything.
I'm Okada.
Which, hey, you're Kazuchika Okada. You're one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Battle in the Valley, Elimination Chamber, both this weekend.
Mercedes Moné is the thing I'm most looking forward to. I'm really going to be interested in how that's going to play out. But
I mean, she's winning the title, right? Must be.
But then do you want like with her asking price, like, do you really want to like pay that amount of money
I mean,
for
isn't
her to
she
have this show?
isn't she contracted to the company? She's
No,
signed.
she does not. She's not signed. I think she's on a per appearance basis, dude.
Oh,
Like she
okay.
gets like, and then like they pay her like almost like $2 or $3 million per appearance. I think. Don't quote me on that, but all I know is that her asking price is like fucking insane. Which,
Because I
hey,
thought
good
she
for
was
you.
listed
Get
under.
that money, get that money, Monet. But
I,
like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
want to just
Well,
look? You
I
wanna
mean,
just
I'm trying because I thought she was listed under the
Sadie's Monet.
this
She's
website,
current.
this
Oh,
horrible.
she's signed. She actually is signed.
Yeah, so if
That's
she's
almost
signed to
right
the
now.
company, you might as well put that title on her.
Today she can run. Wondering.
Ugly
Now
looking
she
belt
had
though.
joined both and its sister Stardom. So well, I guess she is signed. Okay, well, she's probably getting that title.
And
I
I
still
guess
don't like her hair, dude.
no, it's
I'm
horrible.
looking at it right now. It's a okay. I might get crucified saying like tearing down her hair or anything,
The
but it's
Sasha fans,
I'll just say this: it's a choice. It's a choice.
I know somebody who has particular opinions about Sasha Banks who will back you up on this, Michael. So don't worry. I'll get somebody to have your back with the Sasha fans. But anyways, before we get out of here, I know the show's been going a little long today, but there's something I wanted to mention. Earlier today, we were talking about Cody Rhodes. He talked to Ariel Helwani, Sami Zayn, WrestleMania. He talked all that. He
Oh,
also,
he was talking about wrestling. Was the wrestler talking about wrestling?
yeah, and his current position in WWE.
Okay.
But he was also talking about the what happened, the scuffle at All Out in
The brawl out.
September. Yeah. Rhodey,
Oh God,
Cody.
Road Dogg was involved somehow.
Well, he probably tweeted about it. I mean, he usually does. Cody Rhodes, who had a great relationship with Punk and the rest of the young executives, he said he was bummed out when he learned that the press conference ended in a scuffle. He noted that their different opinions on wrestling, which made them work, was tested by being young executives. He said he also enjoyed the contention that they had and the fact that it made them bond in the end. He believes that bringing in people who don't know the company's mission can damage the company's growth.
Okay, let me interrupt you for a second.
Yeah.
For everything that he kind of like lightly implicated or could like he implicated Punk on being, he completely just backtracks it too. Like, oh, I know people don't know the mission, but not to say that that I know that CM Punk doesn't know the mission. And when
Yeah.
I said, yeah, it was.
No, I mean, he
And
said he
he
was
said
really
it
bummed out.
himself. I'm being Switzerland right now. Like it was like, yeah, you are. Of course you are,
But
Cody.
he also kind of made mentions that, like, he wasn't agreeing with the Young Bucks. He wasn't agreeing with Kenny Omega.
That's just business, you know.
You know,
That's just creative differences. And at the end of the day, I think I mean, it's Tony's company, so
and
y'all ain't shit.
it's going to come out little by little, though. Over the years, we're going to eventually know the full story of why Cody Rhodes left AEW, and this is the first the creak into the forbidden door of Cody Rhodes in his life. So just wanted to bring that up. Want to talk about it a little bit because
Okay. I mean, I think this is kind of a no-brainer at this point as far as what I'm going to ask.
yeah. Ask
If
away.
anything, I'm not even going to frame this as a question. I'm just going to say it flat out. Like,
I'm ready.
do you see that rating for AEW today?
No. What
It
was
was like
it? No.
844. Like it
Woo.
was they're sinking, dude. Like I don't want to push the panic button right now, but ultimately I do think for the betterment of the for the benefit better of the company, like if I'm Tony, like I'm gonna have to try to find a way to get Punk back.
Yeah.
Ultimately,
You
I
know,
do think like it's
I've been trying
it
to
gets
find a
murky.
way.
It gets really murky because he was involved in a physical altercation with your employees, and like and I don't think, and like that you have an entire locker room who, for better or for worse, doesn't Punk does not have the highest approval rating of that locker room, but
Yeah. And wasn't Tony
we're
Khan
kind of
like
just
one of the
beating this Punk
No,
thing,
absolutely.
beating this
But
Punk
wasn't
drum to
Tony
the
Khan
ground,
like
and
one of
like
the wasn't he one of the biggest like CM Punk fans back in the day? Tony Khan?
I mean, I was, we all were.
Absolutely. But being a fan and being an owner, I've talked about this many times, are two different things. And Tony is slowly making that transition because it is slowly, and we see it, to actually being a full-on booker, producer, showrunner. and
I
not.
just don't think I just generally just don't think the situation is cut. I mean, this whole the situation isn't as cut and dry as people think.
Yeah.
But I also, if I had the choice between, if the elite walk, then I walk. That is, remember, I will always put my stance, plant my flag in the fact that
Well,
if
you know,
if like the second letter of your company, the guys like, I was sold on that company from those guys. Punk was always just icing on the cake.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you lose Kenny Omega, you lose my favorite wrestler. That's just not. I don't think that'd be worth it. Personally, I don't think it's worth it. But I also think the solution, but I also do think they should just try to work it out.
They
And I
should.
know, maybe time will tell. Maybe it's just, but I do think it's in the company's best interest for. I don't even want to say that, because what if everybody in that locker room? Okay, now we're talking in circles.
Yeah.
We just gotta I feel like we just gotta wait and see what ultimately comes with his
And
contract
wait and
situation.
see. We shall, because I think that about does it here for us today.
Yeah, Thursday in the books. This is good. I like
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever day you're watching. You could be watching Saturday morning.
Sorry to date these podcasts.
Whatever, it's all good. All right, let's get out of here. For City Wrestling Radio, I am Korey Smith.
I'm Michael Vergara.
And we will see you next time. Take care. Have a wonderful day. See ya. Guys, if you do like City Wrestling Radio, please take a moment to stroke our fragile egos and click the like and subscribe and even possibly the share button. We really do appreciate it. It does help out the show. And hey, the bigger we get, the more news you got coming down. So help us help you. All right. Like, share, subscribe, click it down below. Thank you.